You're an accountant who'd like to increase your client's profit significantly because that way they'll be willing to pay you more for the advice you're giving them. Or you're a business owner, again, looking to increase your profit significantly. Well, this is how you do it. The first thing we need to understand is that we have suspects out there who might be interested in what we do, and we're trying to attract them to pay enough attention to us to become prospects. And the way we do that is we follow 8 golden rules for any piece of marketing or promotion. It doesn't matter what you do. If you stand up at a network meeting or you produce an advert or you produce a video, whatever, you follow these 8 rules. And the first and fundamental of them, of course, is that we need to be focusing on the right sort of person, the ideal customer or client for us. So that's why we need to know our target, ideal customer or client. And if we do that, then what we'll do is we'll bring in more of the right sort of client or customer into our, I suppose for want of a better word, our pipeline. So basically what this represents is 1,000 at any time of prospects. And what happens is 30% will drop out, 70% will eventually go on to buy. But of that 70%, only 1 to 3% are ready to buy now. So what we really need to do is to nurture them along this buyer's journey, it's called, such that they stay with us long enough that when they become part of the 3%, then they're more likely to look at us. And if we have the right systems in place and the right sort of communications, because they'll need several bits of communication, they need information basically as to why they might want what you're offering, why they might overcome any objections they've got, and also then how would they choose who to get it from, and would that be you? So they need lots of information here. They don't need to be sold to, they need to be given information. So you need systems in place to nurture them. And if you get that right, then you now got them coming into your funnel, your sales funnel. Now, again, if you've got a proper system set up where you wow them at various stages in the sales process, then they're more likely to buy from you than from your competitors. So if you have systems to nurture them and systems to convert them, you're more likely to end up with more clients or customers. So now let's look at the numbers. Let's say that you generate that, well, there are 1,000 prospects out there. At the moment, what happens is they come through and say 2 of the 3% come to you, which is good. And you convert 50% of them. So you'd end up with 10 new customers or clients. Now, you'll also have some from last year. And what I'm assuming here is that some have stuck with you, but some have dropped out. So let's say 20% dropped out. So you end up with 90 instead of 110 from what you had last year. If on average they all buy from you twice a year, and if on average they spend £1,000, dollars, euros each time, then you'd end up with a revenue of 200,000. And if your gross margin, your gross profit on everything you make, if you're a service-based business, then most of what you make will be gross profit. Then there won't be that much in terms of direct costs. Then 60%, say, would give us 120,000, and then we've got some overheads, 50,000. They're our fixed overhead. They're things like rent, rates, wages, salaries, etc. So let's say there's 50,000 of them, and we'd end up with a net profit of 70,000. Now, if we had systems in place here and we targeted the right people in the right way, following these 8 golden rules, could we get the prospects coming to us to be 10%? Well, actually, that's only 1% more, but it doesn't matter. The figure's the same. So I'm being very conservative. Could we get them coming to us slightly more? So I think the answer is yes, because I've only increased it by 10. So very small extra prospects coming in. Could we nurture them better so that we get more of them here? We get 3 of them for every 1,000 for every 100, 3% rather than 2%, in which case we'd end up with 30 now instead of 20. So we've just nurtured them better. And could we convert more through our sales funnel because we've set that up properly and we've got lots of wow factors built in? And if we increased our conversion rate from 50%, again, only up to 60%, so it's a small increase. If you work the numbers through, we'd now end up with a new 18 clients instead of 10. And also what we've done is we've communicated better with existing clients. We've had regular offers. We've kept in touch with them. We haven't ignored them. So we've kept more of them. So instead of keeping 90 out the 110 we had last year, we keep 100. So that's just a slight increase. And we have things like regular offers and regular promotions. So we get them to buy slightly more frequently on average, 2.2 instead of 2. So that's only a small average increase. And we get them to spend more on average. Now, the way we do that is you could put your prices up. Obviously, that's an obvious one. But you could also have what's called differential pricing. You could have different offerings for different clients and customers. So you could have, gold, silver, bronze. You could have special offers. You could have membership systems. You could have upsells. You could have cross sells. There's lots and lots of ways to get the average spend that they spend each time they buy from you up slightly. And again, I'm only going 10% to 1100. Just doing all of those things, very small increases, would get our revenue up by over a third to 285,000. Our gross margin would go up because we're charging slightly more on average as an average spend, average revenue. So our gross margin's gone up. This is only 5%, which is probably about right. So that's slightly higher. The overheads won't have changed, but you'll end up with a net profit that is virtually double compared to what you had before. So you've installed some systems to nurture them. You've targeted them better in the first place. You've got better sales conversion funnel here to wow them at every stage. You've done things like differential pricing. You've done things like upsells, cross sells, regular promotions, customer reactivation, client reactivation offers. That's a really good one. Following a few simple strategies, we've managed to more or less double our our net profit. And that's only a start, because that's this year. We can do the same next year and the year after, etc., etc. And I think you'll agree, I've been very conservative. In fact, I've been more conservative than I meant to be, because I've only added that by 1%, and I should have made that 1100, which would have given even more impressive results. But I think you get the picture. A few small changes, all very doable for any business person, makes a huge impact on the bottom line. If you're interested in how you could do that for yourselves, or if you're a professional advisor, an accountant, how you could do that for your clients, just get in touch and we can have a chat. BernardKeavy.com. I hope you found that interesting and useful. Thanks very much for watching.